Chronic inflammation is at the root of almost every single disease. So today I want to show you a recipe to what is arguably the most powerful food that you can eat to lower inflammation. My name is Andre. I'm a private chef for pro athletes, and I'm also the founder of the Longevity Cooking Club. If you want more information on that, you can find it in the description or by using this little QR code over here. We'll start by chopping up some cabbage. We're gonna do half of a purple one and half of a green one. The size here doesn't really matter too much as long as it's not too small because we want the texture to stay crunchy. You'll need a big bowl or a 4-inch hotel pan like this one. We'll add 2 red onions, and if you haven't guessed it by now, we're making a type of sauerkraut, but with the very important difference that this recipe calls for 30 ingredients, including these beautiful shallots. And that matters because inflammation connects the gut to the immune system, to the brain, and energy levels and mood, and even long-term disease risk. And when you ferment these things together, you can drastically improve your microbiome, actually very quickly, and lower inflammation markers. We'll add 2 carrots, and I like to cut them on a bias like this. And then we'll add 3 bell peppers. They can be the same colors, or they can be like this. They can be 1 red, 1 green, and 1 yellow. And then add them to the rest of the veggies. In case you're wondering, my claim that fermented foods can actually lower inflammation quickly has been validated by Stanford University. You can look it up yourself. I added the link down below in the description. Now we're gonna take some daikon radish. Make sure to peel them and make sure to remove any imperfections here because you don't want any competing bacteria in your fermentation jar. So just cut around the pieces that don't look so great. Add the scraps to your compost pile, and if you don't have a compost pile, you should 100% start one because you get to create healthy soil, and that's the coolest thing in the world, pretty much, in my opinion. And then cut the rest of it into any shape you want. I like them about this size. Then I'll add some of these little radishes, cut them into about the same size, some jalapenos for a little bit of heat, and then this beautiful lime, which I'm gonna cut paper thin, skin and all. Just make sure that you don't have any seeds. And if you find any seeds, you can sprout them and then you can grow your own citrus trees like the one that I'm gonna show you here later in the video. Then add all of that into the big bowl with all the other ingredients. Anyways, let's add some sesame seeds. Then some gochugaru. This is the same pepper flakes that are added to kimchi, so this will give it a really nice flavor. And then I'm adding a little pinch of cumin and coriander seeds that I toasted yesterday for this other dish that I was cooking. And for a little bit of a twist, I'm gonna add some calendula flowers because they have super powerful anti-inflammatory and gut-soothing properties. And I grew these in my garden last summer, and they're super medicinal and just awesome. Obviously, some of these ingredients are not necessary. You can make your 30 ingredient sauerkraut using almost whatever ingredients you want. These are just the ones that I have available to me right now. And since I'm adding some of these medicinal herbs into this, I'm gonna add some lemon balm in here too. Now we're going to start the paste to turn this into a sauerkraut and kimchi hybrid type of thing. We'll start with green onions. We'll add about this amount of ginger, and I like to use this grater for this job. Then I'll do the same thing with the garlic. We'll add 10 or so cloves. You can go pretty heavy if you want, or you can just keep it at this number or even less if you don't love garlic, but garlic is really nice in this recipe, so I highly recommend it. Then I'll grate an apple on the biggest setting of this grater, then 1 pear because the sugars in these fruits actually give the beneficial bacteria of really good food, and it speeds up the fermentation. And of course, they add amazing flavor too. I like to add turmeric into this because, as we all know, turmeric is one of the most powerful natural anti-inflammatories because it contains curcumin, which directly targets the body's inflammation pathways. So it's super awesome. I love to add beets to any lacto fermentation that I do because they have beta-lane, which is what gives it that red color. And of course, it also has anti-inflammatory effects, no surprise there. And that's why this recipe is so insanely powerful. And once you're done watching this video, you'll know exactly how to lacto ferment just about anything. And you can take your culinary skills to the next level, which is a nice little bonus. So you get the health benefits and the culinary coolness. Now, this is my favorite ingredient in this whole recipe. This is a sudachi hybrid yuzu, so it's like a Japanese lemon. And it's honestly, I think, the most delicious thing on planet Earth, and it's great for this. And yes, as you can see, you can grow them yourself. It's super easy. And in fact, one of the things that I love about food the most is that you can grow it yourself, which makes it free. You can have the best quality food for free. Even if you live in a small space and like in a city, there's plenty of edible plants that you can grow in your apartment. With these guys, I'm gonna use the zest. Also, I'm gonna use all the juice. And at the end, I'm gonna actually slice it super thin and add it to the fermentation just like this. I'll do the same thing with this lime, zest, juice, and slice the whole thing and add it to my pile of delicious foods. Lastly, we're gonna add about 2 tablespoons of fish sauce, about 4 tablespoons of tamari or soy sauce, either one will work just fine, 1 big tablespoon of miso, then we are ready to mix that paste and fold it into the rest of these veggies. And for the most important part of this whole process, we're going to add salt. This is the thing that keeps our sauerkraut from growing any unwanted bacteria, and it creates the perfect environment for the beneficial lactobacillus bacteria to actually flourish and turn this from a bunch of really awesome ingredients into something completely new, and without a doubt, one of the most healing foods that you can possibly eat. If you want to learn more about the details of lactofermentation and gut health, I just recorded a live class that I did for the Longevity Cooking Club, and you can find that recording inside the community, and the link is down below. In order to know exactly how much salt you should add to this recipe, you have to do 3 things. One is that you have to weigh the container that you're going to use and tear the scale before you get the weight of the food. In my case, my hotel pan is around 1,300 grams, and please always use grams and not ounces because it's way more accurate this way. 2, you'll want to add 2.5% of its weight in salt. And 3, the way to do that is by getting the weight of everything that you have in the pan ready for fermentation. And then you take that weight and multiply it by 0.025. And that gives you 2.5% of the weight, which in my case is 75 grams. When you measure the salt, make sure to tear the scale again so you can start from 0. Then add the salt to your veggies and start the process of fermentation by massaging them with your hands until the liquid starts to come out of the veggies. Do this for a few minutes and then you'll see the liquid start to pool at the bottom of the pan, and that's exactly what we want. Once that happens, we're gonna add this mixture of veggies into clean and sanitized mason jars, like using the 32 or the 64 ounces, depending on how much I'm fermenting. You'll notice that this looks kind of dry, and that's okay. But as soon as you apply pressure to it like this, all this beautiful liquid starts to come out. So just keep filling it up and keep pushing it down until a lot of that natural juice will come out and the solids will be completely submerged in the liquid. At that point, you can put a weight on it, and you'll notice that this can be a little bit messy, but that's exactly what you want, because this way you will ensure that the liquid goes all the way to the top of the jar as much as possible. And this keeps too much oxygen from touching your fermentations. That's what you want. And you can close it using one of these pre-sanitized lids, tighten it just a little bit so that if it builds pressure, you can still breathe. And from this point on, you're gonna put it on your counter at room temperature for a few days to maybe a week or 2. This is 100% up to you, and it also depends on the temperature of your room. It will ferment at different speeds. You'll want to burp it every day, at least once, twice if you can. And of course, you'll want to try it every day too. And the day that it tastes amazing to your liking, put it in the fridge and you can enjoy it within a month or so. Technically, it can last much longer than that, but mine never lasts more than a few weeks. If you want to learn more techniques like this, don't forget to check out the Longevity Cooking Club. We have a growing library of anti-inflammatory recipes, and we have over 1,000 members who are the coolest people on planet Earth, and everyone's there to support each other through this journey. So I hope to see you in there. Peace.